Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 1 month festival of football is about to come to an end with the final showdown being England versus Italy. Now, there's a lot of history to discuss between these two nations. Looking at Italy first, this is their 10th major tournament final. They have won one Euro in 1968, followed by two devastating losses in 2000 as well as 2012. England, on the other hand, this is their first ever Euro final, and this is the first time this nation is playing a major league final in the last 55 years. So well done, Southgate, for leading your squad into a final after all these years. And also talking about England being in the finals. This is the first time Wembley is hosting a major final where the hosts will be playing. So, English supporters have lots and lots of reasons to be happy because this will be played in London, Wembley. And they just skimmily defeated Denmark 2-1. They came from a 4-0 victory from Ukraine, but England are playing Italy. Italy is an unstoppable force this year. They have not lost a game since September 2018. Mancini's side is on a 33 win streak, and it could maybe be 34. So, yeah, man, Italy are also coming into this encounter pretty hot. They've beaten two really strong nations to reach the finals. 2-1 against Belgium, and they beat Spain in a penalty shootout. So yeah, England have a handful to deal with tonight. We've just spoken about how unstoppable Italy has been in the past 2 years. Addy, my first question to you is how will Southgate lead his troops to a win against this almost unstoppable Italian side?
Yeah, and Soros, to answer that, I think that one of the strongest things that Italy has is that they have a really strong back three, Donnarumma, obviously, and obviously Chiellini and Bonucci. Over, I think, 219 caps between the both of them. They have a lot of experience, and one of the world's best number nines, Lukaku. He found out the hard way that of how good Bonucci and Chiellini are. They tend to bully strikers. They get around their ankles, and they really do hustle the forwards. I think that one thing that England can do to make these two centre backs uncomfortable is blistering pace, and at the forefront of that is obviously Sterling. He's a contender for the player of the tournament. He Even if he has less possession, he will cause damage due to his pace. And I think that they also have other speedy forwards. We talk about Saka and Sancho, both of whom we might see play today. And I think that what England can do is that someone like Kane, similar to his role in Spurs, he can drop deep and attract the defenders, and that can allow the quick players to use the space behind the sides and run down. I think England will target their side at the left, or the left side of the Italian defense, because obviously Spinazzola, who has had a amazing tournament for Italy, was out and he did miss the semi-final. And their replacement is Emerson, who spent most of his season as a backup in Chelsea. So possibly that could be a side that England could exploit, and England could also opt for counter-attacking football in the early stages of the matches. They have agile, quick, and skillful players who could trouble the centre backs if they break with pace and menace. I think the substitutes are also going to be key for Southgate today. He's played the substitutes very well in his first 6 games, and I think that Grealish could also be an impactful sub in today's game.
Definitely, Grealish's impact was it was quite certain in the encounter versus Denmark, and yeah. Addy, if Southgate needs to beat Italy, he needs to take a risk. He needs to do something outside the box. So we've seen Italy's a very strong side in defending, right? And the last time England played a heavyweight team like Italy was Germany in the round of 16, and that's
Hmm.
when Southgate imposed a 3-4-3 formation. So,
Hmm.
do you think this formation is will be viable against Italy?
So yeah, very tricky question, Ashley Roche. So the he could possibly do that, but my gut feeling tells me that their last two knockout games, they played 3-4-3 only against Germany, and throughout they've stuck with the 4-2-3-1 mostly. And since they have found success with that in the last two knockout games, I don't believe that we will see a change of tactics from Southgate. I think he will go for the 4-2-3-1 with the obviously Kane, Sterling, Foden, and Mount as the front four. So yeah, I think that they will stick to the 4-2-3-1 for today's game.
Hmm. Wonderful. I mean, why fix something that's not broken? And now let's look at Mancini's side a bit. He loves defending, but his team has also netted 11 goals. So coming into this encounter, Addy, do you think Mancini would be more defense heavy or put more emphasis on attack?
So, like you said in your last, like we discussed in the last semi-final of Italy, you said that Mancini prefers the 1-0 victories. He's that sort of manager, and it'd be very sweet for Italy to win 1-0. So, along those lines, I think that Italy could go for a defense-oriented game with an emphasis to hit on the counter-attack. As I said, their defense is spectacular. They have a lot of experience amongst those two centre backs. A lot of physicality, a lot of height, and they're two rock solid defenders. And obviously Donnarumma, who, in my opinion, is amongst the top three or top five goalkeepers in the world. So yes, I think that their emphasis will be on defense. And I had read a Hindustan Time article some time ago which said that pointed out a very important difference. So you said Italy has netted 11 goals and England has netted 10 goals, and in their 10 goals, only Sterling and Kane have scored for England. And Italy, on the other hand, has multiple scorers. They have Immobile, Insigne, Locatelli, Messina, Chiesa, that blinder in the semi-final now, and Barella. All of them have scored goals. So they have about six different players who have scored goals. And with the multiple goal scorers in their squad, I think that may give them a bit of an edge because they have greater ability to pass the ball and in the dangerous parts of the pitch. So yeah, I think that they will be a little defense oriented, and due to their multiple goal scorers, I think that they will try to hit England on the counter. They will try to go up first, get that 1-0 victory, and see the game off by. I think Italy will be more defensive oriented, score the first goal, and just see the game off from there.
Hmm. Wonderful, Addy. I completely agree on the counter-attack front. Like you mentioned, how the depth of Italy's goal scoring, and you mentioned Immobile and Barella. These are some players that they just cut one or two players, and they have the ability to strike the goal from outside the D. So I think Italy should focus on counter-attacks because they have the ability to do so. And yeah, so I want to hear four players Italy need to look out for from the English side from you.
Okay, so my first two players are going to be slightly typical. It's what everyone expects. Obviously, Harry Kane and Sterling, the two highest goal scorers for their squads. Sterling, as I said, he's a contender for the player of the tournament. He's in the form of his life. And this is a really big stage for him. I mean, it's a big stage for everyone because, it's a very iconic final. It's the first ever final and in Wembley at home. So Sterling, definitely. Harry Kane also, I think that he will try to get one or two more goals. He will try to snatch the golden boot from Ronaldo. So yes, Harry Kane and Sterling. And the third player that I am going to go for is Luke Shaw. I think that he's had an exceptional tournament this year. And he links up very brilliantly with Sterling. Sterling running down the wing and linking up with Luke Shaw in the fullback position. He's been very involved. He's recovered a lot of balls. He's been involved in about 3 assists in the tournament. So yes, Luke Shaw will also be a very key player. And my final player to look out from the English side, I am going to go for Phil Foden. I believe that he is going to start today. And, we saw he had a really good season with Man City. He actually kept Sterling in the bench for most of his season at Man City. And I believe that he is going to be starting at the right side of the pitch as an attacking midfielder. And Along with Sterling and Kane, I think that he is going to be one guy who is going to cause the Italian defense some trouble. So yeah, these will be my four players to look out from the Italian squad. Now, from the English squad, I beg your pardon. Now, how about Rush? You tell me four players and tell the viewers four players from Italy that we also look out for.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna start off by mentioning the defense duo. I'm considering them as one. That's Benucci and Chiellini. And like you mentioned, they gave Lukaku a really tough time. And a player like Kevin De Bruyne, who is arguably the best midfielder in the world, felt so helpless against these two absolute tanks in the defense. So yeah, England have a handful to deal with in the defense, especially with these two men there. And you mentioned their experience. And another fun fact I want to mention about these two, certainly, yeah, they have a lot of combined experience and a combined age of 70. So they know the game. They've been playing it longer than the English squad, and they're gonna come to this game hot, guns out, ready to stop the English. And my second player is Donnarumma, the 6'4" goalkeeper of Italy, an absolute unit behind the net. He didn't concede a goal for Italy's first 11 appearances, and I doubt he'll even concede tonight because he's just so hard to beat. And number three, I'm gonna go for Marco Verratti. I think we've not spoken about him enough when we discuss Italy. He is Mancini's top man for midfield. He has amazing control over the ball. He's making the plays. He's quite a technical player. Also has tons of experience with him, and I think Phillips, Rice, and Mount have forced to reckon with in the midfield. And finally, I'm gonna go for Insigne. Simply, then this Napoli striker has showed his ability with the ball, how well he is at dribbling, how he can strike it outside the box. Like that goal against Belgium was an absolute stunner. That's goal of the tournament contender, and Pinkford really needs to look out for his strikes because it's hard to save those bullets. So this is going to be one extremely exciting encounter. We cannot wait for it. And let's just discuss it now. Let's move away from statistics and numbers and players and just talk about the match a bit. Like we're seeing Southgate and Mancini come so far. I think BBC reporters told Mancini after he won the title with Man City that this is the best, this is the most he'll ever achieve in his career. But here he is, just steps away from winning a Euro. Southgate has completely proven himself as a good manager. A lot of questions were asked from him, and the way he bounced back from that penalty miss to build such a strong English squad is remarkable. However, tonight, somebody's going to be a hero and somebody's going to be a villain. So now let's move on to predictions. Aditya, who's your first blood prediction for the night?
So my first blood prediction, I believe that will be Italy. I think that they will do first blood in this game, score the first goal, and I also believe that that will be the only goal of the game. I think it'll end 1-0 to Italy, and I'm gonna give it to, it's a little hard to tell also because I mean, we hardly see the strikers scoring goals for these teams. We saw Damsgaard score it for Denmark, and we saw Chiesa score it for Italy in the semifinals. So, maybe I'm going to stick with their striker. I'm going to stick with Immobile. I think that he will score the first blood, and according to me, the only goal of the game.
That's a good pick. And Addy, I share your opinion that this will most probably be a 1-0 victory to Italy. And my first blood prediction is I'm going to just go back in time a bit when Portugal won their Euro and there was only one goal by Eder. It was just an absolute magnificent goal, just a cracker. And we saw the same thing in 2014 where Mario Götze scored a stunner. So my first blood prediction for tonight will be a stunner, just a wonderful goal, one that you barely see coming from Nicolo Barella for Italy.
Okay.
That's so. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for viewing all of our shows. Addy and I are really grateful for all the positive comments you drop on our videos. And yeah, we have one exciting game of football to watch tonight. And thank you so much for viewing all our shows.
Thank you. Thanks.